So today is the day of January the 28th, and they finally released some new information about the Pokemon Home app that's coming out. And I'm quite personally excited myself, and a lot of others are, but there are a lot of people that are really confused on, I don't know, like what things are added to a home that Bank didn't have, and also the pricing. And I'm here basically just to explain, you know, that stuff and whatever. Anyway, first of all, let's compare Bank to Home. So, Pokemon Bank could only transfer Pokemon between 3DS games, but Pokemon from the older games like X, Y, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, once they were transferred to newer games like Sun, Moon, and the Ultra games, you couldn't transfer those back to the older games. Pokemon could be transferred from older virtual console games like Yellow, Blue, Red, Green, and Silver, Gold, and Crystal, and also the DS games like Black, White, Black 2, White 2, Diamond and Pearl. But they couldn't be transferred back to those games once they were transferred to the 3DS games. And also that required like a separate app called Poke Transporter. Pokemon Bank couldn't be used for free, meaning you had to pay $5 a year to use it, and it only held up to 3,000 Pokemon. So, that's all you could do with Pokebank. There's a lot of people going, oh, Pokemon Home, why isn't it as good as Pokebank? But that's all you could do with Pokebank. Let's see what things Pokemon Home has compared to Bank. Pokemon Home allows you to transfer Pokemon between the Switch Pokemon games. You can use it either for free, meaning you don't have to pay to use it, or you could pay. If you use it for free, you can deposit up to like 30 Pokemon. If you pay, you can deposit up to like 6,000 Pokemon, which is like double what you would could deposit with Bank if you paid. Pokemon Home also brings the Pokemon Global Trading Service. If you're doing the free thing, you can like trade one Pokemon at a time, but if you're doing paid, you can trade 3 at a time. It also brings back Wonder Trade. If you're doing the free part, you can do 3 at a time. If you're doing the paid part, you can do 10 at a time. There's also Room Trade, which appears to be like some kind of random trade system with like multiple people. Pokemon Home also has its own national Pokédex. You can view Pokédex entries for every Pokemon game. You can also view the attacks those Pokemon can learn and the stats, which sounds like it's trying to replace Bulbapedia and Cerebi. Pokemon Home also has its own IV Judge. And it looks like you can transfer Pokemon for battle points, but I can't confirm that. I might have to reread that part. And like back with Bank, of course back with Bank you need a separate app, but with Home, you can transfer Pokemon from older 3DS games to Home using Pokemon Bank. But like back then with Bank, you couldn't transfer Pokemon back to DS games, like once they were transferred over to Bank. With Home, you can't transfer 3DS Pokemon back to Bank once they were transferred to Home. You can also transfer Pokemon Go Pokemon, but they also couldn't be transferred back to Pokemon Go, which I kind of figured with Pokemon Go. I mean, you can only trade Pokemon in that game once, so, So yeah, that's pretty much the gist, and pretty much Pokemon Home seems to have a lot of more features than Pokemon Bank. But wait, there's more. Pokemon Home doesn't seem like it's just a small upgrade to Pokemon Bank. It also seems to be replacing the entire Pokemon GL website and also the Pokédex 3D app that was on the 3DS, which was $14 on its own, and still $14. The Pokemon Global Link website had a lot of interesting features, including like info on like competitions, leagues, keep track of your ratings and battles, and your stats for like competitions. There's like news, you can get like mystery gifts, codes, items, and Pokemon from GL. It was a really cool site, and it's actually still up now, but I think it's phasing out really soon, so it's cool that Home's coming. And yeah, so Pokemon Home can either be used for free, unlike Bank that you have to pay to use it. Home can be used for free, although there are some features you have to pay to use, but Home can be used either for $2 for 30 days, $4 for 90 days, and $15 for a year, and doesn't require Nintendo Switch Online. So, how does Home sound compared to Bank? What do you guys think? But there's also something else I'm gonna touch on. There's gonna be those few people that go, oh, what about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? You can't transfer those Pokemon back. Here is the deal with that. Like back with Pokemon Bank, if you transfer it from X, Y, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, you know there were 6th generation games. If you transfer it to the newer generation games, like Generation 7 being Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, you couldn't transfer those back to those previous games. I believe every generation, like if you try to transfer to a newer generation, you can't transfer it back. Because I remember you couldn't transfer back from gold and silver to yellow, blue, and red and green. You couldn't transfer back from the 3G, the DS games back to the Game Boy Advance games, and so on. So like that, you can't transfer back from Sword and Shield to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. You can use Pokemon Home with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, meaning you can use Home to transfer. You can use Home, and you can put your Pokemon on Home and transfer them between Pikachu and Eevee. But if they are sent to Sword and Shield, you can't transfer them back to Pikachu and Eevee. So I guess it might be the mechanics, or it might be because Pikachu and Eevee are technically Generation 7 games. But yeah, they can be transferred with Pikachu and Eevee. They just can't be transferred back once they're transferred to a newer game. But yeah, that's pretty much all the info I have on Pokemon Home, and the differences between Home and Bank and the transferring situation. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe and do stuff.